Welcome to America. Tell me what you're thinking. Just so much. Kleenex is split. I've always been interested in history and the history of black people. I took Afrocentric classes at UNL. My grandma lived at 2821 West Kentucky Street. I've read so many books, and now I belong to a church that's primarily African American, and I wouldn't be anywhere else. Beautiful. Thank you.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstones, peace, mercy, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, the Israelites of the Bible, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And as you can see in this video that I found on social media, you can see how there's this so-called white woman, also known as Esau Edom. She's pretty much telling a Jake of all the history she has seen that her people have done towards black people. And you can see that she's scared because judgment it's about to be upon them. And we can start off with the book of Revelation chapter 13 verse 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Who put the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans into captivity? That was all these other nations, but it was also Esau, Edom, so-called white man. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. To this day, they still kill our people with the sword, and the modern sword today, it will be a gun. Here is the patience and the fate of the saints, or the saints of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That will be the Israelites, the elect man, the 144,000. And you go to the book of Psalms, chapter 148, verse 14, and it reads, he also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Adonai Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So, this lady, from reading all that history that the white man, that her people have done to black people, she's seen all this wicked and evil things they have done to our people. And, she knows that, she probably knows that, judgment is going to get her. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, judgment is like a ring, like it says in the book of Second Ezra. Second Ezra, chapter 5, verse 42, says, Second Ezra chapter 5, verse 42, and he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first. So the judgment of the Heavenly Father, how by Shem Yahushai, is like a ring. What goes around comes around. So they're about to, get that same fury, that cup of fury that we got for us going off and not listening to the Heavenly Father, how by Shem Yahushai, following his law, statute, commandments. They're going to get it too when he sends his son Yahweh Shai, who the world internally calls Jesus Christ, to come and judge this place and also redeem his 144,000 man. And then in the new kingdom, they're gonna be ruling in righteousness, and all the heathens are gonna be, in subjection towards us. They're gonna be taking order from us, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We go to the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. It reads, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And that violence is still going on because, Esau had a hatred with Jacob long time ago. He's still having it to this day. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captive his force, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. They joined with the people that was going to war with the Israelites, the so-called Edomites, so-called white man. They joined themselves too. They became enemies of the Israelites, even though they already been enemies since they've been babies. And you can read that in the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 12. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. So when we were catching it, when the southern kingdom were catching, hell from these other nations, Esau, Edom joined themselves and they're laughing about it. And you can see it, we can read in the book of Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 15, it reads, As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate. So once Jerusalem was destroyed, they were rejoicing at the destruction. So would I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and O Idumea. Mount Seir is where the Esau Edoms stayed at. That was their land, their heritage. Even all of it, and they should know that I am the Adonai Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Go back to Obadiah chapter 1, verse 13, and it reads, Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. So they were taking also gold and silver away from us. They stole all that. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. So when there were some Israelites that were trying to escape from the Chaldeans, the Babylonians, the Esau Edom was pretty much blocking their escape and delivered them. And you can go to the book of Psalms, chapter 137. Verse 1, it reads, By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept, when we remember Zion. We hang our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carry us away captive require of us a song, and they that wasted us require us mirth, saying, Sing us one of the songs of Zion. So as they were, taking them away captives, they were saying, Sing to us, sing to us. Verse 4, How shall we sing the Adonai Yahweh Bashim Yahushai song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my tongue, if I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. Remember, O Adonai Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the children of Edom, and the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. And that was the first time when they destroyed the temple that Solomon built, and that was the Babylonians. They destroyed the first temple at that time, and Esau Edom was part of that destruction of the temple. We go back to Obadiah chapter 1, verse 14. It says, verse 15. For the day of the Adonai Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is near upon all the heathens. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So everything that the heathens did to us, they're going to get it back too when the Heavenly Father Yahweh Hashem Yahushai brings that judgment. And you can read that in the book of Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Says, Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. So everything they took from us, we're going to get it back. And all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be spoiled, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So everything that goes around is going to come around. And this is part for us, since our forefathers went off. They didn't obey the Heavenly Father, how by Shemi Hashai, so the curses came towards us. But that was a righteous judgment from the Heavenly Father, how by Shemi Hashai. Also, if you go to the book of Galatians, it's the book of Galatians. Where's Galatians? Galatians chapter 6, verse 7, it reads, Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So, whatever these other nations sow towards the Israelites, they're gonna get it too. You reap what you sow. And we go also to the book of Lamentations. Where is it? Book of Lamentations. So look for that. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 64, it reads, Render unto them a recompense, O Adonai Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, according to the works of their hands. give them sorrow of heart, thy curse unto them. So, the same curses we got and sorrow of heart we got from the heavenly fire, how about Shimei Shai, the other heathens are gonna get it. These other nations are gonna get it. And you can see they're getting it. They're getting these other curses that we got to. They're getting it to them. The heavenly fire, how about Shimei Shai, is putting those curses. Verse 6. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the outer one, Yahweh Shem Shai. So the heavenly fire, Yahweh Shem Shai, is going to persecute them and destroy them too. We go to Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. It reads, Rejoice and be glad, all daughter of Edom, so-called white man. Rejoice and be glad, that dwellest in the land of Uz. Enjoy your kingdom. Rejoice and enjoy it. But even though the voice of murder is gone, everybody right now is pretty much just on edge. Everybody's right now, they have no vision because the heavenly fire, how about Shem Yahshua, has not given them this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. A lot of our people too, they're catching hell. They're trying to make their ends meet. There's no work anymore. Everything's going up, inflations. Yeah, like this. What's it called? This nation is catching hell. And all praise to the heavenly fire, how about Shem Shai, because that's what we want. We want this nation to be this kingdom to be destroyed, so the next kingdom will be next, and that will be for the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and it's gonna be a righteous kingdom, and it's gonna last forever and ever. Lamentation chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. So the cup that we got, they're getting it now. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Zion also represents, it's also named for the Israelites. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. So this is our last captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So now the iniquity and the sins of the so-called white man, they're going to be discovered by the heavenly fire, how by Shimei Shai, and he's showing it. Everybody's seeing that they're who they really are, that they're the devils, the devil that the Bible speaks about. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.